Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this will be episode 197 for you guys today. And to kick off this week's episode for the opening segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Los Angeles Lakers, how their season is going, and how far I do believe that the Los Angeles Lakers can go this NBA season. So, I'm going to be honest. If the Los Angeles Lakers can keep this up, I think they can punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals this NBA season. And the Lakers are red hot. They're 18-4 as I record this segment. 18-4 in their last 22 ball games. They're the second seed in the Western Conference today. LeBron James is 40 years of age. To some, the all-time great. But LeBron is turning back the clock at 40 years of age. The man is putting up identical stats and identical numbers to his 2012-2013 MVP days with the Miami Heat, arguably the best days of LeBron James' career. And when you look at those stats, he is shooting better from the field, better three-point shooter, getting more rebounds, getting more assists, being more active as a team player right now, playing for the Los Angeles Lakers than he was years ago as the greatest player in the world with the Miami Heat. So that's mind-boggling. And the duo of LeBron James and Luka Doncic is starting to pick up steam. Obviously, Luka has not scratched the surface of what he normally is as a superstar out in the court after he's been traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers. But once Luka Doncic gets in better playing shape, once Luka Doncic gets back to being that scoring machine, and LeBron James and Luka Doncic grow that chemistry together, it's over. It's a wrap for the Western Conference. And I think if they continue this, they are going to the Western Conference based on how the Western Conference is right now. Yes, there's so many stacked teams of the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Rockets, the Clippers, etc. But there's no guarantee that anybody will make it out of the West. I just think that conference is wide open, and I think the Lakers, if they can continue playing this ball and they don't fall off, they could take the opportunity and run with it. But one of the reasons why I'm so high on this Lakers team right now, not only is because they're 18-4 during this 22-game stretch, JJ Redick has done a really good job coaching this Los Angeles Lakers basketball team. And a lot of people criticize the Lakers for going after JJ Redick to hire JJ Redick as their next head coach last season, or when their season ended last year. But JJ Redick, for somebody that, to my knowledge, has no coaching experience at the collegiate level, or never been a coach in the NBA, and was just a colleague for NBA last year for ESPN. He was just someone that was appearing on First Take, talk about the game of basketball for ESPN, has taken over with the Los Angeles Lakers as their head coach based on LeBron James and JJ Redick having a podcast together last year, and he has not looked back since. He's put in the hard work and effort to get the Los Angeles Lakers to this point where they are this year in the Western Conference. And the job that he's done, you got to put him as in the conversation for Coach of the Year, because this team had to pivot so quickly with them trading their defensive ace away in Anthony Davis in order to get Luka Doncic. It's nice having a potential superstar player in Luka Doncic, or I should say a potential player that a generational talent. And Anthony Davis is a generational talent as well, but you traded him away to get Luka Doncic. So you go from a huge step back defensively and letting go of your ace Anthony Davis, but realistically this team has still picked it up defensively, and they still have been a really good defensive unit throughout this duration of the season. They just had a pretty good, impressive win a week or so ago against the Denver Nuggets, a team that the Lakers have struggled against over the last few years. They had a dominating victory, winning that game by 20 points or more against the Denver Nuggets. So they're putting together some good wins, quality wins, and they're playing great on the defensive side of the ball. I just touched up on LeBron James playing very well, basically turned the clock back to them days with the Miami Heat. At age 40, we have never seen this in the NBA before. Someone balling out like this at 40 years of age. And to get Luka Doncic, I'm telling you guys, they keep this up, the Lakers can get as far as the Western Conference or get into the NBA Finals this year. But if we're looking at this Lakers team, the only thing that does concern me is the fact that they lack size. yes, like I just said a few moments ago, to get Luka Doncic, you had to give up Anthony Davis. But the lack of size being in the West, when you got to play a team like the Nuggets that have size in a 7-game series, and several other teams, that's and OKC as well, with Hartenstein and Holmgren, that concerns me. And if the Lakers did get Mark Williams from the Charlotte Hornets and that trade did go through, and Mark Williams did pass his physical, then I wouldn't be so. I would actually be higher on the Lakers. But the size does matter for basketball, and especially out in the West where there's a lot of bigs. So that could be the only concern. But overall, I do trust the Los Angeles Lakers over a lot of teams out in the West. Teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, who aren't as good as what they once were a few years ago, roster-wise. I mean, they're pretty good this year, but don't get me wrong, their roster doesn't add up to what they had a few years ago. Plus, there's a lot of young pieces. So I think if they matched up against the Grizzlies, they could beat them out in the West. I'm looking at the Houston Rockets. They've been a top quality team out in the Western Conference. It's another young team that lacks experience in the playoffs. They have not been there yet. Jalen Green and several others, they lack the playoff experience, and you need that playing against those veteran players like LeBron and Steph Curry and others out in the West. So I think the Lakers could beat them. The Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, when Kawhi is there, and they have James Harden, Kawhi, and several others in the lineup, they're a good team. But never forget that the Clippers are one Kawhi Leonard injury away from the team not being a contending team. So if they did match up against the Clippers, I think they could beat them in a 7-game series with Kawhi or not. And the Warriors, as good as the Warriors have been playing since they acquired Jimmy Butler from the trade deadline, there's another team that looks like they've gotten completely better on both ends of the court, shooting, playing better defensively, drawing fouls, get to the free throw line. I think the Lakers could beat them in a 7-game series. So I just named a lot of teams that are floating in the conversation of being the top 16 in the West, top 16 in the West. But the two teams that I don't think they can, I'm not going to say they can't beat, but teams that I think I don't have as much confidence that they could beat them in a 7-game series. That being OKC, the way how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been playing and the rest of the team has been playing. They've been no doubt the best team in the Western Conference this year and a top 3 team throughout the NBA across the board. And the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets have had their number over the last several years in the NBA. Rosters have changed. Superstars have been traded since then. But the Nuggets find a way to get the best of LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. So I can't say that the Lakers could beat those two teams just yet in a 7-game series. But everybody else I just mentioned, they can, and I have the confidence that they could beat them. But if the Lakers could continue this, if they could keep it up on the defensive side of the ball, the chemistry continues to grow between LeBron and Luka, and the rest of the supporting cast steps up and plays a pivotal role in this second-half run, look out for the Western Conference, because the Lakers could be in line for getting as far as getting to at least the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals this year. Sky's the limit for them, but I do believe that the Los Angeles Lakers has the chance to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals appearance this NBA season.